Alright, so let's talk about completing the square. What we're going to do is we're going to use the completing the square method in order to solve for quadratic equation. Now remember that when I talk about solving, and I say the word solve, it means to find a number for x so that the equation is true. So that means I'm trying to find out what number can fit into x in order to make this entire equation true. That means if I take this number, I square it, and add it to 4 times that number, and subtract the number 8, I need to get the number -3. Now completing the square can help us do this pretty easily, actually. And it just takes a little bit of work. So first, I want to get x squared. I want to get x squared plus 4x alone. So let's get x squared plus 4x alone by adding 8 to both sides of the equation. So I'm going to write plus 8 and plus 8. And why do you have to do plus 8 on both sides of the equation? Well, because whenever you add to one side, you have to do the same to the other side of the equation. Alright. What does that give me? That gives me now x squared plus 4x, x squared plus 4x, and all of that equals to -8. -3 plus 8 equals to +5. Alright. Now, let's complete the square. How do we do that? You'll recall it's take b, divide by 2, square it. So that means we are going to take 4 divided by 2. That equals to 2. Then we're going to square that answer, and that equals to 4. So the number I am going to add is 4. So let's add 4 to both sides of the equation. Because once again, if I were to add 4 to one side, I would add 4 to the other side. Now, what was the reason for having done this in the first place? Well, we want to add 4 because to complete the square, because we want to make x squared plus 4x into a perfect square trinomial. What's the benefit of having a perfect square trinomial? Well, the benefit is now I can rewrite x squared plus 4x plus 4 as parentheses x plus 2 to the power of 2. Now, that should equal to 5 plus 4, which is 9. If that is what I have, what was the next step in completing this? And you should say, take the square root on both sides. But why do you want to take the square root? Well, we're taking the square root so you can get rid of the square. If you get rid of the square, you can easily solve for x. So let's square root both sides. I am going to draw a square root symbol here, and equivalently, if I square root one side, I must square root the other. I am now left with x plus 2 equals square root of 9 plus or minus 3. So your two equations from this is now x plus 2 equals 3, or x plus 2 equals negative 3. Now let's solve. Minus 2 on both sides. Minus 2 on both sides. And you now get x equals to 1, or x equals negative 5. I think the one thing I want to make sure you understand is the purpose that we complete the square. Why do we want to add a 4? Well, it completes the square when we add the 4. But why is it important? Because you can turn a perfect square trinomial, I'm just going to call it PST, perfect square trinomial into a binomial squared. And I'm just going to make that a little smaller. So I basically turned x squared plus 4x plus 4 into x plus 2 all squared. And the benefit of getting a binomial squared, make that small as well. Is so you can take the square root. And that is the only reason you want to even consider getting a binomial square, is because if you get a binomial square, then that square root is now an option. And now that it's an option, I can easily get x by itself, because the square root of x plus 2 squared just equals x plus 2. Square roots cancel each other out. I've already put another video on this. This just kind of goes step by step how I would solve for a quadratic by completing the square. But this video is more for why you want to do so. So I hope you watch both of them and leave comments if you need to. But remember, tomorrow your test is pretty big. So I hope you study, and I hope you actually use these notes well. Take care.